Sugar is evil. Yes, it is. Soy sucks. It always has, it always will. And fat will not make you fat. To sum it all up for you, sugar is a highly noxious substance. Really leads to a lot of inflammation and disease states in the body. We tend to get in way too much of it, especially if we're eating a diet filled with packaged and processed foods. I recommend avoiding all forms of added sugar and limiting yourself to no more than 10 grams of added sugar per day. This does not include sugar in fruits, although I would say that you want to limit your high sugared fruits. So you want to stay with the low glycemic index fruits like berries and melons. And that's really because whatever disease state you are trying to rectify, or just you really want to improve your health, sugar is a highly inflammatory substance, and it leads to the body being more acidic and inflamed and just leads to general poor health. So watch your sugar. Soy, I feel like this day and age we're all talking about it, but again, it is really hard for you to digest and really bad for your system, especially as a woman. It can be too estrogenic, and that can lead to estrogen dominant diseases or disease states like endometriosis or fibroids, ovarian cysts, things of that nature. If you are a woman or a man and you're eating soy on a regular basis, I would strongly encourage you not to eat it. Soy is meant to be eaten in very small portions, like a teaspoon or two. It is meant to be fermented. It should always be organic and sprouted. So if you're eating tofu or soy flour or soy cheese or any of those, soy milk, soy yogurt, any of that stuff, I strongly discourage it. Especially if you are seeing symptoms of like gastrointestinal difficulties, acne, PMS, migraines, that type of thing. You could have an underlying soy intolerance and not know it. It is one of the most difficult things to digest. In fact, many researchers have made statements, and I make the similar statement in both my books, that it has the nutritional equivalent of plastic. So eating it is actually so hard for your body to digest, it actually pulls nutrients out of your system in order to break it down. So no soy at all. If you are a vegetarian and soy is a major protein source for you, I recommend no more than 2 ounces 1 to 2 times a week. And again, it has to be organic and it has to be sprouted. Wildwood Organics is a good brand. I'm sure there's some other ones out there now, but keep that in mind. And lastly, fat will not make you fat. The thing that makes us fat is grains and sugar and soy. Fat from good quality fat sources, saturated fats, do not make you fat. In fact, if you don't eat enough fats, your body will hold on to weight. And when it comes to women's health, especially reproductive health, and whether you're trying to get pregnant or you are pregnant or postpartum, or you just want to regulate your hormones, you need to eat fat. I recommend at least 2 tablespoons a day of a good quality fat like ghee, which is clarified butter, so it's dairy-free butter, or grass-fed butter, or coconut oil. You can also get fat from nuts, nut butters, nut milks, but you need to eat good sources of fat on a daily basis to regulate your hormones, to have glowing, healthy skin, to just feel good, to function optimally, to have good cognition. Fat is so imperative to optimal functioning and health. So again, at least 2 tablespoons of fat per day. Think avocados, nuts, coconut oil, ghee, grass-fed butter. Those are all really good sources. Coconut milk is another good source. I'll typically make a smoothie with some coconut milk and avocado, and that's a good source of fat for me for the day. Always put fat with your vegetables. It helps with the absorption of all the nutrients from your vegetables. And on a side note, you should always have your vegetables cooked and not raw. So to recap, sugar is evil. No more than 10 grams of added sugar per day. And ideally, if you are dealing with a disease or a disease state and you really just want to feel better, I would recommend going completely off sugar for at least 3 weeks and see how you feel. Soy, highly processed, really toxic, hard to digest. If you're a woman and you have any menstrual issues or you're having challenges getting pregnant, avoid soy. If you really, really, really need to eat it, it needs to be organic and sprouted, and no more than 2 ounces twice a week. And that includes soy sauce, so you want to go for higher quality soy sauce, which soy sauce is typically fermented, but I would recommend tamari over soy sauce because it's gluten-free as well. And then fat. We want to get in at least 2 tablespoons of fat each and every day. All right, have a wonderful day. Until next time.